Hi, and welcome to 3 Things in 3 Minutes. I'm Nersi. Today, we are looking at Nemesis from Awaken Realms. It plays 1 to 5 players and it plays in about 1.5 to 3 hours. What it's about. Now, Nemesis is a lavish production of basically the Alien movies as a board game. It can be played cooperatively, competitively, or somewhere in between. Each player plays a character with a unique deck, and you spend cards to take actions while moving around the spaceship Nemesis. Now, eventually, the aliens, which are called intruders, will show up in escalating numbers, and players try to complete their secret objectives, which can range from calling for help to indirectly killing other players, all the while trying to survive without getting infected until they can either escape or the ship hyperspace jumps. Now, what I like, Nemesis fits the theme of the Alien movies in its unofficial way very well. And if you're playing with the potentially competitive goals, you'll actually wrestle with the paranoia of whether the other players are trying to sabotage the ship or kill you. And they can only do so through indirect means, so like trapping you in a room that's on fire with an intruder inside. And that fear and paranoia works really well here. Now, to that end, you can make the game as cooperative as you want. And so you can choose to have only cooperative gold cards available from the beginning. But even if you decide to go competitive, you'll ultimately decide between 2 gold cards, one of which is usually aggressive and the other one is not as much. And if that's not enough, you can choose to play as one of the intruders after you die and then go after the survivors. And the component quality of the game is spectacular, most notably in the highly detailed miniatures, which is not really that surprising because that's what Awaken Realms is known for. Now, points to consider. The game does have a fair amount of randomness to it, from the die rolls to attacking to card draws that determine how the intruders attack, and more confusingly, how many hit points the intruders have on a specific turn. Now, the gameplay explains that away by saying you don't really know much about the intruders, but it can still feel frustrating to spend some of your scarce ammo on attacks that ultimately are randomly thwarted, even with the desperate survival theme of the game. Now, the game also has a fair number of very specific instance-based rules that are not clearly spelled out in the limited reference sheets that are included in the game, and so you'll probably find that the tension is broken in your first few games by stopping and pulling out the rulebook repeatedly. And as nice as the components are, the board is strangely very, very dark, enough so that it actually makes it hard to sometimes see where you're going or how the hallways line up. And also recognize that the exceptional components do come at a cost. This is not an inexpensive game. So in summary, it is a tense, atmospheric game that plays out like the Alien movies with some really amazing components. The gameplay does allow for a range of cooperation and competition, letting you adjust it to how you and your friends like to play, and the gameplay is tense, though it is occasionally broken by some randomness and some confusing rules. Thanks so much for watching. Please make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel.